Captain Ta-1 Kim stood at the bridge of the Earth Defense Force flagship Dauntless, his eyes fixed on the massive alien ship that had appeared near Earth's orbit. The ship was beautiful, like a silver flower floating in space, nothing like the sturdy warships humans built. "Sir, they're requesting to dock," said Lieutenant Du Yun at the communication station. His fingers moved quickly over the glowing screens. "They say they represent something called the Galactic Council." Ta-1 took a deep breath. This was humanity's first contact with alien life, and he had to handle it right. "Grant them permission. Alert our diplomatic team to meet in Docking Bay 3. In the docking bay, Haenul Park, the youngest member of Earth's diplomatic corps, stood nervously adjusting her uniform. At 28, she hadn't expected to be part of such a historic moment. But here she was, about to meet actual aliens. The alien ship connected to their dock with a soft thud. The airlock cycled, and everyone held their breath. When the door opened, 3 aliens walked out. They were tall and graceful, with silvery skin that seemed to shimmer. Their large eyes were completely black, and they had long, elegant fingers. The first alien stepped forward and spoke in perfect English. "I am High Counselor Merix of the Galactic Council. We come in peace." He paused, looking at the humans with an odd expression. "We have been watching your world for some time." Captain Ta-1 stepped forward to introduce himself, but he noticed something strange. The aliens kept their distance, moving carefully, as if they were afraid. Haenul noticed it too. The aliens acted like someone meeting a dangerous animal at a zoo, fascinated but cautious. During the walk to the conference room, Merix asked questions about Earth. "Your gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared," he asked, sounding shocked. "And your oxygen levels are 21%. "Yes," Ta-1 answered. "Is that unusual?" The aliens exchanged looks. "Captain," Merix said slowly, "most civilized worlds have gravity less than half that, and oxygen levels below 15%. Your world, Earth, is what we call a Class 12 death world." Haenul spoke up. "A death world? A planet so dangerous that most species would die there instantly," Merix explained. "The gravity would crush them. The oxygen would poison them. And that's before considering your world's extreme temperatures, dangerous wildlife, and natural disasters." The humans in the room looked at each other, confused. To them, Earth was just home. "And you evolved there?" another alien asked. "Naturally." "Of course," Ta-1 said. "Where else would we come from?" The aliens stepped back slightly. Merix's voice became very respectful. "In the entire galaxy, less than 1% of intelligent species evolve on death worlds. Those that do," he paused, "they are special." Haenul watched the aliens carefully. There was something they weren't saying. The way they looked at the humans wasn't just fear or respect. It was almost like they were relieved to find them. "We have come to invite Earth to join the Galactic Council," Merix announced. "Your species has proven itself ready by achieving faster-than-light travel." But he looked around at the sturdy walls of the human ship, built to withstand extreme forces. "I must admit, we have other reasons for seeking you out." Captain Ta-1 noticed the tension in Merix's voice. "What other reasons?" "That," Merix said quietly, "is something we must discuss in private. But know this, there is a reason why Deathworld species like yours are so rare and so respected in the galaxy. You are not just survivors, Captain. You are something far more important." As the meeting continued, Haenul couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The aliens were hiding something big, something that had to do with humans being from a death world. She looked at Captain Ta-1 and saw that he felt it too. Whatever this secret was, they were about to find out why the galaxy really needed humans. And somehow, she had a feeling it wasn't just about their ability to survive on a dangerous planet. Jai-Ho Lee sat in his lab aboard the Dauntless, studying the data from the alien delegation's visit. As Earth's senior xenobiologist, He had expected to be excited about studying alien biology. Instead, he felt worried. Something wasn't right about their readings. His computer beeped. A message appeared on his screen, marked urgent. The sender was Merrick's, the alien high counselor who had visited 3 days ago. Jiho opened it quickly. "Meet me in Cargo Bay 6. Come alone. Destroy this message." Jiho looked at the time. 2 a.m. Earth Standard Time. Most of the crew would be asleep. He deleted the message and headed to the cargo bay, his heart beating fast. The cargo bay was dark when he arrived. Then a soft blue light appeared, and Merrick stepped out from behind some containers. The alien looked nervous, his silvery skin slightly pale. "Thank you for coming," Merrick said quietly. "What I'm about to tell you could get me killed, but you humans need to know the truth." Jiho nodded, staying silent. "The Council didn't just find Earth by chance," Merrick continued. "We've been watching your planet for over 1,000 years. We needed to know if you would survive." "Survive what?" Jiho asked. "Something is coming," Merrick said, his black eyes reflecting the blue light. "Something that only Deathworlders can fight." Meanwhile, in the diplomatic section of the ship, Haenul Park couldn't sleep. She sat at her desk, reading through old alien records the Council had shared. Most of it was boring stuff about trade agreements and star maps. But then she found something interesting. There was a document about something called the Guardians. It was mostly deleted, but a few parts were still readable. It talked about species from high-gravity worlds with dangerous atmospheres, Deathworlds like Earth. The document said these guardian species had saved the galaxy long ago. But from what? That part was missing. Haenul's computer suddenly lit up. A message from Captain Tawan. "Emergency meeting. My office." Now, when Haenul arrived, she found Jiho already there, looking pale. Captain Tawan stood by his window, staring at the stars. "Tell her what you told me," Tawan said to Jiho. Jiho took a deep breath. "The Council is scared. Not of us, but for us. There's a reason why most aliens live on safe, peaceful worlds. Their bodies and minds are soft. They can't handle real danger. But we can," Haenul said, beginning to understand. "Yes," Jiho nodded. "Merrick showed me something. Every few thousand years, something attacks the galaxy. Something horrible. The only ones who can fight it are species from Deathworlds. Species like us." "How long do we have?" Tawan asked. "Not long," Jiho answered. "Merrick said there are signs it's waking up. That's why they contacted us now. The last Deathworld species died out centuries ago. The galaxy has been defenseless since then." Haenul pulled out her tablet. "Look at this," she said, showing them the document about the Guardians. "I think this is talking about the same thing. The last time this happened, Deathworlders saved everyone." Tawan looked at the document, then at his crew members. "So that's why they respect Deathworlders. We're not just survivors, we're protectors." "But there's more," Jiho said quietly. "Merrick is worried. Some council members don't want to tell us the truth. They think we're too dangerous, too unpredictable. They want to keep us in the dark until the last minute. Then we need to find out more," Tawan decided. "Haenul, keep searching those records. Jiho, learn everything you can from Merrick. But be careful. If some council members don't want us to know, they might try to stop us." Haenul finished. As they left the captain's office, Haenul looked out at the alien ships in Earth's orbit. They didn't look so beautiful anymore. Now they looked like they were hiding something. And whatever it was, humanity needed to find out fast. Because somewhere out there, an ancient enemy was awakening, and Earth's children might be the only ones strong enough to fight it. Commander Sun Mi-Kang looked at the old space station through her ship's view screen. It floated in space like a giant metal ring, dark and silent. According to Merrick's secret message, this was an abandoned archive station. It held records about the ancient enemy that the Council didn't want humans to find. Status report: Sunmei called to her small crew. No power readings. Du Yun Choi answered from his station. As their tech specialist, he could tell that the station had been dead for years. But the structure is solid. We can dock safely. Sunmei nodded. Captain Taiwan had chosen them for this secret mission because they were the best at covert operations. Their ship, the Shadow Scout, was small and hard to detect. Perfect for sneaking around without the council noticing. Suit up, she ordered. Remember, we only have 6 hours before the council's patrol ships pass through this sector. The team put on their spacesuits. On most worlds, these suits would be too heavy to move in. But thanks to growing up on Earth's strong gravity, the humans could move easily in them. They docked with the station and cut through the old airlock. Inside, their helmet lights showed empty halls covered in dust. Du Yun checked his tablet. The main computer room should be 2 levels down, he said. If there are any working records, they'll be there. As they walked through the station, Sunmei noticed something strange. Look at these marks on the walls, she said, pointing her light. There were long scratches in the metal, like something had tried to break in or break out. They found the computer room. While Du Yun worked on starting the old systems, Sunmei and her team watched the dark hallways. The station felt wrong, like it was hiding something. Got it, Du Yun said finally. Ancient screens flickered to life, showing strange alien text. Can you read it? Sunmei asked. Yes, the translation program is working. This is... Oh, Du Yun's voice became quiet. Commander, you need to see this. The screen showed pictures of terrible battles, entire worlds burning, alien ships being torn apart, and in every victory image there were ships like Earth's, sturdy, strong vessels built by Deathworlders. Look at the dates, Du Yun said. This happened every few thousand years. Something would attack from deep space, destroying everything in its path. Only the Deathworlder species could fight it. Why only them? Sunmei asked. Because, Du Yun read more text. The enemy is something that lives in extreme conditions. Normal species can't survive fighting it. But Deathworlders were already used to surviving in dangerous places. Suddenly, their radios crackled. Commander, it was their pilot. Council ships just jumped into the system. They're early. Download everything. Sunmei ordered Du Yun. We need proof of what we found here. Du Yun worked fast, copying files while Sunmei's team watched the halls. The station creaked around them, as if it was waking up after a long sleep. Got it all, Du Yun said finally. But there's something else. These records, they're not complete. They mention another archive station, one with information about how to fight the enemy. But its location is encrypted. Bring it anyway, Sunmei said. We'll figure it out later. Right now, we need tow. A loud sound echoed through the station. Metal grinding against metal. What was that? Someone whispered. We're not alone here, Sunmei realized. Everyone, back to the ship. Now. They ran through the dark halls, hearing strange sounds behind them. They reached their ship just as something big started moving in the shadows. The Shadow Scout undocked and flew away fast, hiding behind an asteroid before the Council ships could spot them. As they headed back to Earth, Sunmei looked at the station one last time. For a moment, she thought she saw something moving inside it, something watching them leave. But that was impossible. The station was abandoned, wasn't it? Dr. Yumha Ryu hadn't slept in 2 days. She sat in her lab on the Dauntless, listening to the strange signals that Earth's deep space stations had picked up. As the ship's top xenolinguist, it was her job to understand alien languages. But these signals were like nothing she had ever heard before. Play it again, she told her computer. The sound filled the room, a deep, grinding noise that seemed to pulse with its own rhythm. It reminded her of whale songs, but much deeper and somehow wrong. Her computer beeped. Someone was calling. It was Hae-Nul Park. Dr. Ryu. Hae-Nul said when her face appeared on the screen. You need to look at something. I'm sending you files from the archive station Commander Sunmay found. Yunha opened the files. They showed old recordings of similar signals from thousands of years ago. Her eyes went wide. These are the same, she said. The pattern is exactly the same. Where did you find these? They were recorded just before each attack. Haynul explained. The ancient enemy always sends these signals first. Like it's waking up. Captain Ta-1 called an emergency meeting. In the ship's main conference room, Yunha played both recordings, the old one and the new one. Everyone listened in silence. There's more, Commander Sunmay said when the sounds finished. Show them what else we found. Du Yun connected his tablet to the main screen. These are records about Deathworld species, he explained. The Council has been studying them, studying us, for a long time. They have a rating system for how tough each species is. And? Ta-1 asked. Humans are the highest rated ever found, Du Yun said quietly. Our world has everything. High gravity, extreme temperatures, dangerous animals, natural disasters. Most Deathworlds only have one or two of these things. Earth has them all. That's why the Council really contacted us, Jai-Ho added. Merrick's told me the truth. The other Deathworld species, they're all gone, died out in the last war with the enemy. We're the only ones left who might be strong enough to fight. Suddenly, alarms started ringing through the ship. Red lights flashed. Multiple ships jumping in. Someone shouted over the radio. It's the full Council fleet. They rushed to the bridge. Through the main window, they saw hundreds of alien ships appearing around Earth. In the middle was a ship bigger than any they had seen before. They're hailing us, Du Yun said. The main screen lit up. It showed Merrick's and several other Council members. Captain Ta-1, Merrick said. His voice was sad. We know you found the archive station. We know what you learned. We had hoped to prepare you more slowly, but there is no more time. The signals, Yunha said. They're getting stronger, aren't they? Yes, Merrick answered. The enemy is awakening faster than we expected. That is why we are here, all of us. The full Council fleet has come to Earth. To stop us? Ta-1 asked. No, Merrick shook his head. To protect you while you prepare. Humanity must survive. You are our last hope. Another alarm sounded. More signals were coming in. They're coming from everywhere now, Yunha said, checking her readings. All around the galaxy. Whatever's sending them, it's waking up everywhere at once. How long do we have? Haynul asked Merrick's. Months, maybe less, the alien answered. We will help you prepare. We will give you all our technology, all our knowledge. Humanity must be ready. Ta-1 looked at his crew, then back at Merrick's. Ready for what? For war, Merrick said simply. A war that only Deathworlders can win. And you, humans, are the strongest Deathworlders the galaxy has ever seen. The signals kept playing through the ship's speakers. To everyone else, they sounded scary and wrong. But to the humans, they sounded like a challenge. And humans from Earth never back down from a challenge. Min Seo-buk checked her combat suit one last time. As the Dauntless's best fighter, she would go first in the Council's tests. Captain Ta-1 stood nearby, watching the alien judges prepare their equipment. Remember, Ta-1 said quietly, they want to see what humans can do. Show them. The test chamber was huge, built inside the Council's massive ship. The walls could change to copy any environment. Min Seo walked to the center and waited. First test begins, a Council member announced. Combat Scenario 1. The room changed. Min Seo now stood on what looked like another planet. The gravity felt much stronger than Earth's. The air was thick and hot. Most aliens would be crushed and unable to breathe. But Min Seo just smiled. This felt like a heavy workout day back home. Robot fighters appeared around her. They were big and fast, built to test alien species. Min Seo moved quickly, using the heavy gravity to her advantage. On Earth, she had trained in gravity chambers even stronger than this. The robots didn't stand a chance. In just a few minutes, they were all down. Incredible, one council member said. She's actually using the heavy gravity to hit harder. Meanwhile, Haynul Park was taking a different kind of test. The council wanted to see how humans thought and solved problems. They gave her a puzzle that most alien species needed days to solve. She finished it in 2 hours. How? A council member asked. This is our hardest logic test. On Earth, we have to solve problems fast. Haynul explained. When there's a natural disaster or dangerous situation, slow thinking means death. We're used to it. In another chamber, Du Yun showed them how humans could work with technology. The council gave him broken alien machines he had never seen before. He fixed them all. Your species learns so quickly, Merrick said, watching. Most take years to understand new technology. We have to, Du Yun said. On Earth, if something breaks, you either fix it fast or things go wrong. We learned to understand machines quickly because we had to. The final test was for Captain Tawan. The council created a battle simulation, a space fight against an enemy that had destroyed other species. They wanted to see how humans would handle impossible odds. Tawan studied the situation. The enemy was stronger and had better weapons. But he saw something the others had missed. Send the ships here, he ordered, pointing to a spot near a gas giant planet. Use its gravity to move faster. The enemy's weapons are strong but slow. We can use that. The council watched in amazement as Tawan's strategy worked perfectly. His ships danced around the enemy, using the planet's gravity like a sling, hitting hard and moving away before the enemy could respond. Now we understand, Merrick said when the tests were done. You don't just survive on your death world. You learn from it. Every dangerous thing on Earth taught your species something valuable. But Haynul noticed something strange. While most council members looked happy, some looked worried. She moved closer to hear them talk. They're too good, one whispered. Too dangerous. What if they turn against us after the war? We can't think about that now, another answered. We need them. Haynul frowned. She needed to warn Captain Tawan. Not all the council trusted humans. Some might try to stop them from getting stronger. But before she could move, all the lights turned red. Alarms started ringing. Emergency, a voice called. We're detecting those signals again. But now they're different. Stronger. Merrick's turned to Tawan, his face serious. Captain, there's no more time for tests. The enemy is coming faster than we thought. Your species has proven itself. Now you must help us prepare for war. The humans looked at each other. They had passed the council's tests, but the real test was still coming. And this time, failure meant the end of everything. Dr. Jin Wusong stared at his lab screens in shock. After studying the signals for days, he had finally understood what they were looking at. He grabbed his tablet and ran to the emergency meeting room, where Captain Tawan and the others were talking with the council members. It's not just one enemy, Jin Wu said as he burst into the room. It's billions of them, all connected, all thinking together. He put his tablet on the main table. It showed strange crystal-like structures floating in space. They're silicon-based life forms, he explained. They live in the hottest, most extreme parts of space. Normal carbon-based life can't survive anywhere near them. Merrick nodded slowly. Yes, that's why we need Deathworlders. Your bodies can handle extreme conditions that would kill most species. Jin Wu pointed to new readings appearing on his tablet. The signals are their thoughts. They're waking up and calling to each other, building a network across the galaxy. Like a giant brain made of crystals, Haynul said, understanding. Exactly, Jin Wu agreed. And now I know why they attack. They don't hate us. They don't even think we're alive. To them, carbon-based life is just pollution, something to clean up. The room was quiet. Everyone thought about what this meant. How do we fight something like that? Commander Sunmai asked. With this, Jin Woo said. He showed them another screen. Earth is special because it forced us to adapt to everything. Heat, cold, pressure, poison. Our bodies can work in almost any condition. We're the only species tough enough to fight the silicon life where it lives. Suddenly, Du Yun's computer started beeping. The signals, he said. They're changing again, getting organized. I think they're planning something. They all watched as new data came in. The silicon creatures were moving, gathering in groups. They're building ships, Merrick said, his voice shaking. Like they did last time. Ships made of crystal that can survive in a star's corona. No normal species can fight them there. The heat would destroy our vessels instantly. What about our ships? Ta One asked. That's why we've been helping you upgrade them, Merrick explained. Your Earth vessels were already the strongest we'd ever seen. With our technology added, they might survive where no other ships can. More alarms started ringing. New signals were appearing everywhere. They're waking up faster than before, Yoon-ha said, listening to the sounds. The pattern is changing. They're getting ready to attack. Min Seo, who had been quiet, stepped forward. So we fight them in the stars, she said, in the hottest, most dangerous places, where only we can go. Yes, Jin Woo said, but we need to know more. The archives mentioned other Deathworld species fought them before. We need to find out how. Newell pulled out her notes. The encrypted location, she said. The other archive station. It must have those records. If we can find it, Sun Mai added. We have to, Ta One said. Jin Woo, keep studying those signals. Maybe we can predict where they'll attack first. Du Yun, work on breaking that encryption. Everyone else, prepare for battle. As they left the room, Jin Woo looked at his readings one more time. The silicon life was growing stronger every hour. Soon, they would attack. But now humans knew what they were facing. And humans had something the silicon life didn't understand. The drive to protect others. The will to fight even when things seemed impossible. Earth had taught humanity how to survive anything. Now it was time to use that strength to save the galaxy. Even if it meant fighting an enemy that lived in the heart of stars. Captain Ta One stood on the Dauntless's bridge, looking at the strange ships arriving near Earth. They were different from the Council's elegant vessels. These ships were tough and strong, built to survive extreme conditions. They belonged to the last surviving Deathworlders in the galaxy. 3 ships from the ice world of Cronus, Newell reported, reading from her screen. 5 from the high-gravity world Dura, and 2 from the acid storms of Nexus. Not many, Commander Sunmai said quietly. But enough, Ta One answered, if we work together. The meeting room was specially prepared for the different species. Some needed extreme cold, others needed heavy gravity. The humans could handle all the conditions, moving easily between the different sections. The first to arrive were the Cronosians. They looked like tall, white-furred hunters, built for life in frozen wastelands. Next came the Durans, short and strong, their bodies dense enough to survive crushing gravity. Last were the Nexians, with their thick, armored skin that could resist the strongest acids. I am Captain Ta One of Earth, he said when they were all seated. We know about the silicon life. We know they're coming. And we know that only Deathworlders can fight them. We are too few, a Cronosian leader said. Many of our colonies are gone. The Council kept us separated, afraid we would become too powerful if we worked together. That's why we called you here. Newell stepped forward. Earth has something no other Deathworld has. We faced every kind of danger. Heat, cold, pressure, poison. Our bodies adapted to all of it. Together, we can be stronger than ever before. The Duran leader spoke, his voice deep. The Council says you found old records. About how our ancestors fought the Silicon life before. Yes, Du Yun said. He showed them the files from the archive station. But we haven't found their weapons yet. There's another station with those secrets, but its location is hidden. Suddenly, the Nexian leader made a strange sound. Everyone turned to look at him. "We know this place," he said, his armored skin gleaming. "Our oldest stories tell of a great library, hidden in the heart of a blue giant star. No normal ship could reach it. That's why the Council never found it. But we can reach it," Min Seo said, understanding. "Our ships working together." "Yes," the Nexian agreed. "Your Earth ships are strong. Our Nexian ships can resist the heat. The Chronosian ships can cool the systems. And Duran technology can handle the pressure." Taiwan looked at each of the alien leaders. "Then we work together. Share our strengths. Become what the Council feared, a united force of Deathworlders." The other leaders agreed. As they talked, making plans, Haynul noticed something important. Each species was proud and strong, used to facing challenges alone. But they respected each other. They understood what it meant to survive on a world that tried to kill you every day. "The Silicon life thinks we're not real," she said. "That carbon-based life doesn't matter. But we know better. We know that surviving makes you stronger, that facing death makes you value life more." Alarms started ringing again. The signals were getting stronger. "They're gathering near the galactic core," Du Yun reported, "building their crystal ships. We have maybe 2 weeks before they attack." "Then we have 2 weeks to find that library," Taiwan said, "to learn how our ancestors fought them. Are you with us?" The Deathworlder leaders stood together. They were different species from different worlds, but they shared something important, the strength that comes from surviving impossible odds. The alliance was formed. Now they had to prove that the galaxy's toughest species, working together, could save everyone else, even if it meant diving into the heart of a star to find the answers they needed. The combined fleet of Deathworlder ships moved through space toward the galactic core. Captain Taiwan led them from the Dauntless, which now carried weapons and shields they had found in the Star Library. Behind him, thousands of ships from Earth, Cronus, Dura, and Nexus followed in formation. "Signal detected," Du Yun reported from his station. "The Silicon life is moving. Their crystal ships are leaving the core." Through the main window, they saw them. Huge ships made of living crystal, glowing with starfire. There were thousands of them, maybe millions. "This is what we trained for," Taiwan said to all ships. "Everything our worlds taught us about surviving, about fighting, about never giving up. We use it today." The Silicon ships attacked first, firing beams of pure plasma. But the Deathworlder fleet was ready. Chronosian ships released clouds of supercooled gas, weakening the plasma. Nexian vessels, their hulls coated with acid-resistant armor, took direct hits without breaking. "Now," Taiwan ordered, "show them what Earth taught us about warfare." Human ships moved in complex patterns they had learned from studying Earth's predators. They struck fast and moved away, just like hunting wolves. They worked together like ant colonies, each ship playing its part in a larger plan. Min Seo led the fighter squadrons, diving between the crystal ships. "Their weapons are strong," she reported, "but they're slow. They never learned to fight smart, only to overwhelm with power." She was right. The Silicon life had never needed strategy. They had always been stronger than their enemies. But now they faced species that had evolved to overcome stronger threats. "They're trying to surround us," Commander Sunmai warned. "Let them," Taiwan smiled. "Spring the trap." When the crystal ships moved to circle the fleet, hidden Duran ships burst out of nearby asteroid fields. Their super-dense hulls smashed through crystal formations, breaking the enemy's formation. "Hanul," Taiwan called, "send the signal." Hanul activated the device they had found in the Star Library. It sent out a special frequency that disrupted the Silicon Life's network. Suddenly, Their perfect coordination broke down. "It's working," Dr. Jinwoo shouted. "Their hive mind is confused. They can't think together properly." The battle was fierce. Some Deathworlder ships were lost, but for every one that fell, they destroyed dozens of crystal ships. The Silicon Life had never faced enemies who could fight them in the hottest parts of space, who could survive their strongest weapons. "Their main ship is exposed," Sun Mai reported, "the one controlling them all." Taiwan looked at his crew, then at the screens showing all their alien allies. "Together," he ordered. "Everything we have." Every Deathworlder ship fired at once. Humans provided the targeting data. Chronosians froze the enemy's defenses. Durans punched through their shields. Nexians dissolved their armor with special acids. The crystal mothership cracked, then shattered. Without it, the Silicon Lice network fell apart. Their ship stopped moving, became just lifeless crystal floating in space. "We did it," Hay Newell whispered. "We actually did it." The council ships appeared from safe distance, where they had been watching. Merrick's voice came through the radio. "Now you understand," he said. "This is why we respect Deathworlders. Not because you're strong, but because you learned to use that strength to protect others. You could have ruled the galaxy through force. Instead, you choose to be its guardians." Taiwan looked at his crew, at the screen showing their alien allies. They were all different, all strange to each other, but they had worked together, using the lessons their harsh worlds had taught them. "We are Deathworlders," he said simply. "We know how precious life is, because we fight for it every day. And we will keep fighting, keep protecting, keep guarding." As the fleet headed home, Taiwan smiled. The galaxy had been right to respect Deathworlders, but not for the reasons everyone thought. They were respected not because they were tough enough to survive, but because they were kind enough to use that toughness to protect everyone else.